Hello everyone, I have some seedlings acclimating outside now, and I also wanted to come here and give you guys a few updates of a few things that have been happening in the garden. Last weekend I was actually able to pick up some compost from Head Hook Community Farms, and I was able to get 3 bags from them. We had to sign up online first and then gather our lots, and 3 bags was the maximum that we could get, and I ended up putting the compost already at the plot. I wanted to make sure that I give a little bit extra food for my ranunculus, because when I planted the ranunculus I actually didn't add any fertilizer or anything like that. I should have added some bone meal or something to at least help with the blooms, but I didn't. So I thought that at least top dressing with some compost would be very helpful. So that's where I used my first compost bags at. And I also had the chance to prune the fig tree. I have to prune the pear tree behind me too, but over there I just tried my best to cut as much as I can, because that tree doesn't really produce very good figs and it just gets really massive through the season. So I just wanted to cut it down as much as I could and try to kind of contain it a little bit. And if we get figs from it this year, great. But also when it's very tall, it's very hard to harvest, so I tried to cut it back as much as I could. And then I decided to just chop and drop all the prunings in the ground and cover it with some white cardboard that I had here from my green stocks, all the boxes I had. I let it stay out in the rain so it got nice and soaked, and then I covered all of the trimmings from the pruning with that. And on top of that I decided to add some mulch. I used some cedar mulch, and I hope that I can kind of contain the weeds in this area for this year, because this is kind of the entrance of the garden, and I always feel that doesn't look very nice because everything kind of grows sort of wild in this area. I can't really grow anything because the fig tree shades it, but then the weeds just go crazy. So I decided to cover it now, and then I will probably try to put some mushroom spores in there, some like spent mushroom blocks, to see if maybe some mushrooms can grow in there and kind of speed up the decomposing process. So we'll see how that's gonna work out this year. And I still have to go pick up more compost at the Queen's Botanical Garden. So this weekend on Sunday, I think is the first pickup. I had to sign up online before also, and the pickup this year is from 10:30 to 1:30. It's going to be donation based this year because unfortunately the city cut the composting budget. So in order for them to still be able to keep producing the compost, they are going to be selling it but also giving it out and asking for donations. So I'm gonna pick up, they said 5 bags maximum, but I'm gonna see if there's some for sale at the gift shop too. I might buy a few. I want to really take care of the soil health of the plot this year, so all of the other ones are gonna go to the plot. My raised bed behind me here is looking pretty good. Even though I haven't added compost, I've been kind of taking care of the soil a little better, I guess, because it's more manageable, it's closer to me, and it's pretty healthy. Everything that's growing there is pretty healthy. I mean, look at that snapdragon that overwintered. It's huge. Everyone's looking okay, so I might put just a little bit of compost in there, not as much, and then try to put as much as I can at the plot to see if I can have a better growing season this year. Because if you guys remember, if you've been watching for a while, I had tons of pests in the garden last year, and I was really thinking that's probably because of the soil health of the plot. In 2022 I did have a great harvest, but I didn't really do much to amend the soil after. And then when I planted the flowers last year, I was kind of rushed, and I ended up not amending much either. I think I also didn't get as much compost. Anyway, long story short, we're gonna take care of the soil at the plot this year. I have listened to a really interesting podcast talking about adding molasses to the soil, diluted molasses with water, to help feeding the microbiome of the soil, all the bacteria and the life in there. So I'm gonna try to do that. There's also something new that I've heard about that's called rock dust or azomite that helps also add the minerals back to the soil. So I might be trying to do that too, plus a compost. So we're gonna try to get the soil really good before we do the planting this year, and hopefully this season's gonna be much nicer. So let me talk about the seedlings that are in front of me right now. I have started most of them with you guys here too. Okay, the train going by at this moment. Let's see, wait for a second. These are the extra lettuce seedlings and greens and the flowers that I have. Here is the coreopsis. It's looking, let's see if you guys can see. Oops, I had watered. It's looking really good. I actually potted to this, so it gives you some more space, and it's growing really fast. I actually need to move because I got water all over me over here. One second again. And I'm gonna try to find space for this. I didn't think so many of them was gonna do well, but we'll see. This is a very pretty white and red coreopsis that I really liked last year. I didn't grow them, but I bought them to my wedding and I thought they were beautiful, so I wanted to grow them this year. The lettuces in here and the greens are gonna go on my green stock, the one that I just harvested from. I'm going to harvest some full heads of bok choy in there, I think, and maybe fill up some gaps with some of this nice purple bok choy that I already have in there, and some more lettuce. I have a lettuce mix here this time instead of only the little jam that I had there. Also, I think in the last video I made a mistake. I said that the dark green leaves that I was harvesting were tatsoi. They were shijimisai. I forgot that I had planted shijimisai this year, and they're similar, so I kind of get confused with them sometimes. But these things are going to go there, and then I want to put this oregano in the plot to see if I can add also some things that smell good in there and try to attract some more pollinators and insects that could help us with the pest control in the garden. I'm going to try to plant a lot of fragrant things this year, so I'm going to do marigold, which is also known for pest control. It has a strong smell, and it's as leaves and on the roots apparently, and it deters under the soil pests and also above soil, so that's pretty cool. And I'm doing some oregano. I would like to do some lavender and stuff, so I'll see if I can buy some at the farmer's market. I also have some citronella in here that I got at the farmer's market. And everything else here I actually started myself from seed. I have the butterfly milkweed here. Hopefully this year I'll have a better luck, a bit of a better luck with that. I also just went to intro to ethnobotany class this week, and I learned so much. It was really great. I went with some of the garden club members, and I also met some people that I already knew in there. It was very awesome. It was in the Bronx, at the River Garden, very nice. And I learned so much more about the things that I'm already growing, like this calendula over here. I'm more excited even about growing them. And I also have actually a dahlia cutting here that I decided to take. I've done a bit of experimenting with dahlia. I didn't talk about it in the video when I did a little update about the dahlia seeds, because I am new to it, so I didn't want to say something that I didn't know about it. But I tried to take a cutting from a tuber and it worked. I took it and it rooted. There's some roots underneath here, and I'm going to plant them. And I'm also going to be planting most of my tubers very soon in the garden. The forecast for next week is great, so I'm going to try to acclimate a lot of the stuff and plant a lot of things out to make more space for me to start up potting my tomatoes and peppers and all of those warm season things that will need to stay inside for a little bit longer, and they will take space too once I put them in individual pots. That's exciting. But I just want to come here to do this quick update. Sometimes it's hard when I'm filming like a harvest video or something to catch you guys up with everything that's happening in the garden, but I think it's good to know what I've been kind of happening, what's been going on. So next time we go to the plot, you'll see that I have added the compost in there and all the mulch under the fig tree. I also actually just remembered added a little bit of twine to the trellises for the peas in there. I'll show that to you guys too, and I can't wait to start planting there. I'm super excited. So after I get the compost on Sunday, I'll try to make a video showing you guys how I'm going to amend the soil for this growing season. So that'll be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I love to know what's going on in you guys' gardens at this time of the year too. So leave me a comment and let me know. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you next time. Look, my peony is growing. Look how nice it looks. I have so many shoots this year. Last year I only had 2. Hopefully we get lots of flowers.